Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for checking out this video here on Shows, Style, and Spirit. I am Ebony, and I want to talk about Kenya Moore's latest YouTube Live, where she talked about a variety of topics, including Melody Shari and her ex-husband, Martell Holt. And Kenya definitely backs Melody Shari in regards to the claims of abuse, and she makes an interesting statement about what we all have seen. Now, before we get into it, I ask that you please hit the like button on this video and please subscribe to the channel. And everything that I'm saying in this video is alleged and just my opinion. And the Copyright Act of 1976 says that my fair use commentary on this soundbite, it is allowed. I first saw this clip on It's Reality Entertainment TV's Instagram page. It showed both, they edited both Kenya Moore's commentary on Karen Huger with her commentary on Melody. So I wanted to go back and see what Kenya had to say in its original form. And I felt like she did great, chef's kiss. So I want to go ahead and play this clip and then I'll come back with my commentary.
Accused her ex Martell Holt of physically abusing her in the past and expressed that production tried to cover it up. He's denied the allegations and is accusing her of lying to get back on the show. So Melody Holt and Martell are basically shots fired at each other. Melody claimed that Martell at some point was abusive toward her physically or mentally, because we saw the mentally. It says physically here in the article. She's accusing him, per the article, of being physically. You can say allegedly too. Allegedly being abusive. So we don't know what the full story is. Obviously, he hasn't been arrested or convicted of any crime, so we cannot say for a fact that he did. I hope this is not true. But for me, I'm always going to believe the woman. We carry a lot of guilt when we've been abused, when our relationships are not working out. We get people always constantly saying, oh, you can't keep a man. What's wrong with you? Always something pointed at the woman, blaming the woman for for the man's bad behavior or actions against us. And I think that it's inappropriate. It's unfair. And it's one-sided. It's misogynistic if you're a man making those comments. And women really need to have each other's back. We need to protect women. And most importantly, we need to protect Black women, okay? All women need protection. But, in the words of Malcolm X, we know that quote, the most disrespected person in the world is a Black woman. Okay? So we need to examine how we respond to things like that. And are we helping our friend? Are we saying, if my daughter came to me and said somebody put their hands on her, guess what? I'm not going to grill her and say, are you sure? When did this happen? My boots and my coat will already be on, and I will already be out the door going to address whatever young man or woman may have put their hands on my child. Obviously, when she gets older, that will never happen. But I'm just saying, my point is if your daughter comes to you and says that a man put their hands on her, you must believe the child. The same way in abuse. If a child comes to you and says that, that they've been touched or made to feel a certain way that didn't feel comfortable for them, you must believe the child. That's just the way of life. Somebody has something to say? Yeah, Miss Chindo wanted to.
Okay, beautiful soundbite, Kenya. I love that her producer really combed through the blogs and gathered her topics. She did that pre-production and she asked Kenya Moore her thoughts, and Kenya spoke beautifully. Did you all peep where she asked the producer to clarify? She said, oh, is she saying she was physically abused or mental? Because we saw the mental abuse. I was like, clock that T, Kenya. Okay. We all know that Kenya Moore is definitely intelligent. We graduated from the same high school, Cass Tech. Okay. CT fired up. And so she is a smart gal. And she obviously watched the show at least enough to witness the monstrosity. Okay. So she said, is she saying physical? Because we saw the mental. That was just perfect. I'm so thankful every time someone says it out loud, because I feel like women, we are programmed to keep it hidden, because people, they question you, like she was saying, are you sure? Or they'll say, maybe it's you can't keep a man. We remember that wretched scene between Rashida and K Michelle on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, when Rashida was trying to gaslight K Michelle and actually said to her, maybe that did not happen to you. Like K Michelle was insane. And then Kay had to like walk her through like being knocked down to the ground and being dragged along. Like she just was spoke so vividly. And Kenya says, everything is pointed at the woman. Maybe you did something wrong, or you can't keep a man. Are you sure? And then she even equated it to, if someone has a child and maybe they're dating someone, or maybe they've married someone, and the kid says that they're being abused, she said, you should believe them, just like you should believe the woman. And Kenya said, we go through guilt when we are being abused. And I think that that is very true, and across all types of relationships, not just romantic. If you're being abused, manipulated, in your mind, gaslit, bullied, you go through guilt, you go through all of these changes because you're trying to figure out, why don't they love me, or why don't they respect me, or why don't they treat me the way that they want to be treated in return. So you go through a lot of emotions, and especially if the person who's bullying you or abusing you, if they claim to believe God and they go to church, all of those things are mind fucks, in my opinion, because you're wondering, well, how can, it's like the song that you sing in church, how can they love a God whom they've never seen, but then treat me like shit whom they do see? So I felt like Kenya was so eloquent in breaking all of that down. And I love to see not only another woman respecting and supporting a woman, but I love to see a Black woman do it for another Black woman. I think this moment is beautiful, and I hope that Melody gets a chance to check out the soundbite. I feel like it's Reality Entertainment TV's Instagram page. I don't even think they showed that entire soundbite in its totality. The total video is mostly Kenya speaking on Karen, and I feel like maybe a minute and a half is her speaking on Melody. But what I enjoyed was nearly 3 minutes. So I hope that Melody gets a chance to check it out. Now, we also have to give props to Melody for her work concerning Charnita's world. And I saw Melody share this article, as well as her mom, Miss Van, and I checked it out, and I think that it is amazing. So the online publication Perception magazine, they interviewed Melody Shari about her award-winning producing role for Charnita's World. So let's get into the article. It is written by Michael Cox, that is the byline. And he wrote, Melody Shari is living proof that reality TV was just the prologue. The multi-hyphenate star, entrepreneur, and mother of four has gone from front and center on Love and Marriage Huntsville to building an empire that's making waves far beyond reality TV screens. And the best part, she's doing it on her own terms, with vision, fire, and a little bit of that soft girl era flow. Melody is going to talk more about her soft girl era flow throughout this interview. So she says that her production company, Tilted Crowns Productions, just earned a silver Telly Award for Charnita's World, a Birmingham based reality series celebrating Black success and community impact. The win placed her team in the same league as global heavyweights, with more than 13,000 entries competing. To premiere it on Nubian and to win an award against such stiff competition while the show is still in its infancy is an amazing accomplishment, Melody says. Now we're on to higher heights and new beginnings. The marathon continues. Nubian is a network focused on providing positive and uplifting entertainment and education for the Black community. Unlike many networks that glorify toxicity and poor representations of the Black community, through Nubian, Melody and her team are highlighting the amazing stories and achievements that often get overlooked. On the network, viewers can find shows like Charnita's World, but also programming covering luxury yacht life, business, fashion, travel, and more. To learn more about Nubian TV, people can visit nubiantv.net. She plans to continue to expand and scale the network. So I love how they plugged in Nubian TV, and it is a hyperlink that you can click on. It'll take you straight to the website where you can check out its content. And I have to agree with the journalist Michael Cox that Nubian TV is definitely educational for the Black community. It has an array of content that focuses on health and wellness. That's what I really appreciate about it. Now, for Melody, it's not just about accolades, it's about alignment and purpose. Stepping away from reality TV after 7 years allowed me to create my own path, the way I want to create it, she reflects. Now I get to help other people who have a dream like I once had, to be on television and guide them to their moment. Every experience you go through is meant to help someone else, and I'm loving that. So then her and Michael Cox talk about the soft girl era with a boss twist, because we all know that Melody Shari is a hard worker, and she really, I believe she's instilling that value into her kids because they're witnessing the business just expand and grow exponentially. But let's get back to the article. Ask Melody where she is in life right now, and she'll tell you she's embracing her soft girl era. But don't mistake softness for slowing down. I am definitely still in my soft girl era, mixed with a little bit of my grind era, she says. Walking fully in my feminine energy, I do that all day, every day. But at the same time, business is growing, business is expanding, and more than usual, that boss side has to come out too. That's part of growing. You've got to make tough decisions, check certain things, people, places. It comes with the territory. And I love that because Melody is talking about being feminine, embracing your beauty and loving yourself. That's what I think when I think of feminine energy. And I also think that feminine energy includes you having to speak up for yourself and or demand respect, in moments where people may try to test you. And that's something that I continue to grow in myself each day. And then Melody goes on to say that balance between softness and boss energy has taught her to be intentional about alignment. I'll be 40 this year, and I've learned how different energies can affect me, Melody explains. If something ain't in alignment, there's no tolerance, no patience, no nothing. It's just a quick cut. If I don't protect anything else, I've got to protect myself. Who you're connected to is so important because you can literally be connected to people that are killing you on the inside. Say that again, Mel. That is oh so true. That is something that she spoke on so eloquently, like season two, I believe, of Love and Marriage Huntsville, when Melody made the decision to leave Martell. And she said, God has always favored me, but some of my blessings could be getting held up because of the person that I am connected to. So I am going to start living my life, without Martell. And of course, I'm paraphrasing, but the moment is like etched in my memory as such a special moment where she has this revelation. And the generosity of Melody Shari is that she shared that revelation with all of us. And it's a philosophy she applies to friendships, partnerships, and business alike. When people stay in situations they're constantly complaining about, it drains you too, she says. So you've got to draw a line in the sand. I've learned to protect my space, protect my energy. My best creation happens whenever my space and mind are clear. Energy is on a certain frequency, and I just can't have you taking me off my frequency. Her mantra is simple but powerful. Pay attention. If your body responds with headache, stress, or unease when someone walks in the room, that's your cue, Melody advises. Ask yourself, is this draining me or is it adding to my purpose? Some therapists will tell you that, it is definitely normal if your body gives you like a signal when you're around people who have bullied you or disrespected you. If you get a tightness in your chest or your stomach starts to hurt, that is your body responding to the person who has been bothersome in your life. And so Melody is saying, pay attention to how your body is reacting to them. That is your cue. And so it may not be easy to be distant from some people, especially if you're related to them, but you have to do what's best for you, what's best for your mental health, and what's best for your physical health, because your physical body can respond to the bullying as well. Multiple gifts, multiple streams. One thing Melody refuses to do is be boxed in. From skincare, 7th Avenue, featured in Forbes, to TikTok shop mega lives, pulling in over 250,000 in just 8 hours, to speaking engagements and her hit production company, she's built a blueprint for multiple streams of income. I'm not one of those people you can put in a box, she laughs. If you try, I'm going to scrape my way up out of it. I have too much to offer the world to dwell in one lane. That drive to diversify comes naturally. I've been an entrepreneur since 25, so that's all my kids have ever seen, Melody says. I don't make excuses. I'm the exception. I'm the exception to being told I couldn't do this as a single mom. I'm the exception to being told I came from a family with nothing. I'm the exception to anyone saying I'm trying to do too much. I can do it all and still take care of my kids. You sure can, Melody. Continue to affirm yourself. I love that. And her kids aren't on the sidelines. They travel with her, join her at speaking events, and even help with packing orders. My son asked me the other day, Mama, you leaving this business to me, right? She laughs. They've been part of this journey, and because of that, they're proud of me. That speaks volumes. The four-piece chicken nuggets, we all know that they are intelligent, articulate, polite children. So it doesn't surprise me that Tank had definitely the intelligence to ask, hey, Mom, you're leaving this business to me, right? He's definitely not a fool. Fire beneath the sweet. 15 years into her career, Melody knows exactly who she is. I got some fight in me, she says. I was built strong, built tough. I'm not a quitter. I'll maneuver, but I won't quit. People may see me as sweet and soft, and I am, but underneath all that, I'm fire. And that fire is fueling her next chapter as a producer, network owner, entrepreneur, and mother, shaping her own legacy. Evolution isn't just a phase for Melody Shari, it's her superpower. Mr. Michael Cox, you know you wrote your ass off in this article, baby. I enjoyed reading it. Bravo. And Melody Shari, the soundbite queen, excellent job. I'm so glad that you and Michael Cox's paths crossed. This is like one of my favorite articles of her being interviewed. So definitely check it out. And I thank you all so much for checking out this video. Please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already done so. I hope that you all had a fantastic Friday. Mine was good. I cannot complain. I'm definitely glad that the weekend is here. And I plan on doing my favorite things, walking at the park, and getting some, some like weightlifting, exercising at the gym. And yeah, we'll definitely watch some Snowfall with the fine Damson Idris. That's like a crime show, kind of like Power, but it takes place in California in the 80s. So the show is off the air now. It came on FX, but it's on Hulu. So I'm going to watch some of that tonight and over the weekend. And I will talk with you all soon. Bye.